Leave the thigh connected to the breast, and you just want to cut the leg off.
I'm struggling.
I'd be struggling too if we were playing hockey, trust me. How you doing, Jacob?
Good. How are you?
It's good to see you. Even though we've got a camera in front of us instead of face to face, but how you holding up?
It's been good. I've been cooking a lot, trying to learn some things. So hopefully, I can add another dish to the repertoire.
I know you've been to the restaurant a couple times. Is there anything from the restaurant that you might want to make?
Been to the restaurant a lot. I feel like whenever I have family or people in town, we always end up going there because it's interesting food that is definitely different than what people get at home or wherever they're from. So one of my favorite dishes there, I think, would be, I like the halibut a lot, but I think if we could try to make the chicken under a brick, I think would be pretty cool.
I think we could probably do that. First question would be, do you have a brick?
The brick is going to be the hardest thing to find. I'll somehow find a brick.
If you can't get a brick, dude, you just need something heavy. You wrap it in foil. It's not that big a deal.
I might be chicken under rocks.
Yeah, exactly. I've actually done a chicken under a coconut once, believe it or not.
All right, well, I'm down in Florida, so maybe that's what I'm doing.
And then what about like butchering? Can you know your way around like a knife and, taking down a chicken from raw?
I think we can take down a chicken. We can try. It won't be as pretty as your chicken, but I think we can get there.
Okay, cool. Well, like I said, as long as you have a brick, and a chicken, I think you'll probably have everything else in-house. I'll send you the recipe, and we can get this thing going. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
All right, let's do it.
Are you excited to get down with this bird?
Excited, a little nervous, a little out of my league here, but we'll make it work.
Well, listen, I used to play sports, and a long time ago in another life, and I feel like cooking like this is almost like in sports. Sometimes you got to get that first hit out of the way, and I'm sure once we get started, you'll feel fine. All right.
The chicken start is going to be the toughest part, so that's what I'm most nervous about. Once I get past that, I'll be all right.
So we're going to get started on the potatoes for the finished dish before we break down the chicken, all right? So if you can do me a favor, just kind of locate your potatoes, a couple shallots, a little bit of rosemary, and some oil. Doesn't need to be extra virgin, but if you have extra virgin, that'd be great. And have some salt and pepper.
All right, we got to get rosemary from outside, so.
Yeah, go grab the rosemary. You got a garden, I heard, right? All right, you got your rosemary, brother?
We're good.
So the first trick I'm going to show you is when you're cooking in a hot oven with herbs, you actually infuse the herb into the oil so that the actual herbs don't burn. So you take that rosemary that you just took from your garden, you probably want a sprig about yay big. All right? Just throw it into a pan. Yeah, and then just cover the herb with a little bit of oil and then turn the heat on. All right, and then take one of those shallots.
Yep.
And just cut it in half. Put the shallot right in the pan with the rosemary.
You take the outside out?
You don't even have to. Just throw it in. So now you got it on the heat, right?
Yep.
So now basically what's going to happen is that oil is going to turn into rosemary, shallot, oil.
All right.
Now you just take your potato, cut it in half, and then cut that half into another half. So you get 4 pieces. All right, so throw those potatoes in the bowl, and you're going to spoon a little bit of that oil. All right, and then after that, you're going to add some salt and pepper. And then with that same spoon, just like give it a toss to make sure the oil is all over them. All right, and then you can grab either like a saute pan or if you have like a baking tray or something like that, but something to hold the potatoes. Dump it in with the oil and everything. And I like to put the skin side touching the tray. So now just throw the potatoes in your oven.
All right.
All right, now we're going to get to the fun part, okay? We're gonna get real up close and personal with the chicken.
Okay.
All right, so you should have a whole chicken, right?
Oh, we got the neck on there.
That's good. We're gonna butcher the whole thing. Yeah, the neck connected, just cut right through it. Pull it out and cut right through it, just like in the movies. Like pretend it has a head, pull it out, and then whack.
All right. Cook that for Kelly later. She'll love it.
Leave the thigh connected to the breast, and you just want to cut the leg off.
I'm struggling.
I'd be struggling too if we were playing hockey. All right, so right now, put the legs away from you.
Yep.
All right, so right now you should be looking at the breast. There's a breast bone. You feel that?
Yep.
All right. You're literally going to take your knife and cut right to the very left of that bone. And then when you get to the wishbone, you're going to feel it. You're not going to be able to go down anymore. You just follow the wishbone all the way down. Did you get all the way through?
Working on it.
Yeah, so when you get to the bottom, you got to push down a little bit. Like literally just follow the bone all the way down to the cutting board. And you're going to separate the drumstick that was left from the wishbone.
This is much harder when it's raw. It's easier when it's cooked.
See, now you have a little more respect for the chef, right? So we're only going to do a half a chicken anyway, so don't even worry about it. And again, you can work this the next time we do it. All right, so now flip it over so that the skin side is up.
Okay.
All right, now right where the leg connects to the thigh, right about here. See it?
Yep.
Cut down. And it comes right off.
Just the thigh. I'm leaving the thigh on.
Leave the thigh connected to the breast, and you just want to cut the leg off.
I'm struggling.
That's okay. I'd be struggling too if we were playing hockey, trust me.
There we go.
So now you should be left with the breast and the thigh. It almost looks like a heart, right?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
It's a misshaped heart, but it's close.
So now we're going to take that shallot and rosemary oil that we made before, and you're going to take the chicken leg.
Yep.
Basically just toss it in there. Season that with salt and pepper. Throw that right on the tray that you have, or the pan that you have the potatoes in.
In the oven?
Yep. So now you're going to season the chicken skin with just salt.
Why do you do just salt?
We're going to be searing the chicken in a very hot pan, and pepper has the tendency to burn. So after you season the skin with salt, flip it over, and then the flesh you're going to season with salt, black pepper, and you should have a lemon over there, right?
Yep.
And do you have like a grater or a cheese grater or a microplane or something?
Yeah, I got a microplane.
So microplane the lemon all over the chicken. When you have the chicken at Forge, can you tell that there's lemon on there, or is this a new thing for you?
This is new. I didn't know there was lemon on it.
Yeah, so this is like, there's like a term that's called the je ne sais quoi. And this is kind of like the chef's secrets. I'm sure you guys have your secrets on the ice, but this is where we we throw in like little tiny things that we don't necessarily put on the menu or that people know about, but it's like the reason that you taste it and you go,
I didn't know that.
And then just wash your hands, because now we're going to get into some of the other ingredients, all right?
How many times have you made chicken under a brick?
And we've been selling it for 10 years, and we sell about 25 a night. So whatever 25 times 365 times 10, that's how many chicken under bricks we've served.
All right, so you're fairly good at this.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the caper shallot butter, which becomes the sauce for the chicken. So just grab like 3 shallots and peel them. And the easiest way to peel them is cut them in half first. And then once you cut them in half, then you grab the top and just peel it back. Comes right off.
Comes right off for you.
You've got the shallot that we just cut in half, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to take your knife and we're going to go like 6 times this way. All right. Do that first and be careful, man. Watch your fingers. So when you were a kid, what was your favorite hockey team?
I was a Red Wings fan. Pretty easy to be a Red Wings fan in the 90s.
Is that where you're from?
Like a half hour outside of Detroit.
Yeah, everybody says that Detroit is the place to go and the place to open a restaurant right now.
Yeah, downtown Detroit is on its way back up.
Now, instead of going this way, you're going to go this way.
Okay.
And remember, when you're using the knife, use it like slice it. Don't push down too much. My first My first battle ever on Iron Chef. You know, I think I was like so amped up and like so excited, and I'm running around the thing, and like I throw my ingredients onto the cutting board, and like I go to peel the shallot, I go to chop the thing, and like the first thing I did was whoosh, right through my thumb. You know, the first 5 minutes of my first Iron Chef battle, I was literally just getting bandaged up. Like I can imagine like being in a penalty box, like during a playoff game or something. Like I was like, let me back in there, man. All right, so the next thing, grab your butter, and you're gonna need, we'll say like a half a pound.
I usually don't cook with this much butter.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna use it all. It's more like it becomes like the sauce, you'll see. And then just like cut it into squares. It just helps it to melt faster when you cut it. Throw the butter right in the pot. Turn it on. The shallots go right into the butter. All right, and then you're going to add probably about 2 tablespoons of capers right into that butter. And you just kind of let that simmer away.
All right.
So you always know you were going to be a hockey player?
Weirdly enough, my older brother he just went to skate one day, and my dad made me go with him and try it out. And I hated it, and I was crying. I was just falling down the boards. I'd get up crying, trying to get off the ice. He made me stay on the ice. Good thing he made me stay on the ice.
No kidding. All right, so now we're going to do the chicken part, all right? So grab a pan, just something, like I said, that's big enough to hold that chicken. And this is also a very important part. It needs to be big enough to hold a brick.
Yeah, I found this outside, so.
Yeah, so they should be like at a good sizzle, like it should look like a deep fryer.
The dog likes the smell. He's interested.
He's smart, man. You know, he likes fried food. Have you ever cooked anything under a brick?
No.
So you know
what
why
else
we do this?
under a brick has chicken, anything?
Do you know why we do it?
No idea. I'm assuming to apply pressure.
The brick like forces the chicken skin to be in constant contact with the hot pan. So that's why you get like that really crispy skin.
Yeah.
And then the brick actually slowly warms up. So it kind of like protects the flesh from the hot oven around it. So that's why you get the crispy skin and then the moist meat.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put the chicken in the pan away from me. And then you're gonna take that brick and it's gonna go right on the chicken. All right, brother, so you got the chicken in the pan, you got the brick on top of the chicken, right?
Yes.
Now, do you see like the outside edges like starting to brown a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, so now you're gonna go the chicken with the pan and the brick and everything and put it into the oven. And at the same time, you might be able to pull the potatoes and the leg out. They should be cooked.
Potatoes look done. All right, we're in.
So what you're gonna wanna do now is take the leg off of the tray and throw the leg in the pan with the chicken.
Okay.
So the leg takes longer to cook than the breast and the thigh. So that's why we get it started first, and then now they're gonna like kind of cook perfectly at the exact same time. And I'd say it's gonna stay in there for about, give or take 10, 15 minutes. So what have you been doing during the quarantine?
We've been doing a lot of fishing. It seems to be like one thing that we can get out and not really be around people. Built a garden, little herb garden. That's not much, but took up a couple days.
Nice. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, man, is it's gotta be the easiest thing I'm showing you, man. Just grab the broccoli rabe. You're basically just gonna take off like 2 inches. All right, so now just take the broccoli rabe, put it on a plate, drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. Yeah, salt and pepper. Olive oil, salt and pepper. I'm gonna try to show you how to make crispy shallots.
Back to the shallots.
All right, so you got your shallots cut in half, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna slice these things instead of dicing.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
All right, so before you get the flour going, you want to break up all the shallots into like single pieces. Like we're gonna make like little shallot fries, basically. All right, so now once you got your shallots kind of separated, take a little bit of that flour and you just sprinkle the flour on there almost like you're seasoning it with salt.
Toss them around or anything?
Yep, you just toss it around like you're making, I don't know if you've ever made onion rings, but like you're making onion rings. All right, so they should be nice and coated. And then you're just going to want to get a small pan or a small pot.
Can I use the olive oil from the rosemary and the shallot pan?
Yeah, but add a little more fresh oil to it. All right, and then while that's happening, take the chicken out of the oven and just put it on your stovetop. All right, and now use a pair of tongs or a towel. It's up to you. But take the brick off the chicken. You got it?
Yep.
And now put the whole thing back in the oven.
Who came up with the brick idea? Did you?
No, it's like an old school Italian dish. It's called pollo alla matone. But I've certainly made it famous in New York, that's for sure. So first, take your shallots and just use your hand, almost like a sieve, to get any loose flour off, and then drop them in that oil. And if they start to turn, just turn the heat completely off. Yeah, so they should be like at a good sizzle, like it should look like a deep fryer.
The dog likes the smell. He's interested.
He's smart, man. He likes fried food. All right, and then just keep an eye on them, and like give it like a little shake every once in a while, and you'll see they're gonna start to turn brown. All right, and then once they start to look brown, you pull them out onto the paper. And then as soon as they come out of the fryer, you season them with salt. And you get these little mini onion rings. Take the chicken out again. All right, so now grab a pair of tongs or a spatula, and you're going to flip the chicken over, but leave it in the pan.
All right.
Turn it on the heat. Like just let the chicken kind of sit in that hot pan, just like this. All right?
All right.
Looking good?
It's looking, I think, how it's supposed to.
Crispy skin?
I don't know if it's restaurant quality, but it's...
You got crispy skin?
Yeah, it's crispy.
Awesome.
It looks good.
All right, so take that broccoli rabe from before and just throw it onto like a baking tray or something. And lay it out in like one even layer. How's your house smell right now?
Very good.
Yeah. All right, so then the broccoli rabe, you literally, like I said, one nice even layer, and you just put it under the broiler.
Trust me, you're humbling me a little bit because I thought I was a better cook. Clearly I'm able.
Well, like I said, if you want to get me back, you can put me on the ice and see what happens.
We might have to do that.
So now we're going to take the chicken out and just put it on a plate, skin side up. All right, so you should have it, should look kind of just like this. Just your chicken with the leg on a plate, nothing else on it right now. All right, so now you've got that hot chicken pan. Be very careful. The handle on that pan is hot. And you're going to add the potatoes to that.
Is it skin side up or down?
Skin side up. So when we cook them, we do skin side down so they get like that nice crispy skin. And then when we finish them, we do them skin side up so that the inside gets nice and crispy as well. And now we're going to go back to our caper shallot butter. And take a spoon and give it like a really, really, really good mix. And now you're going to spoon and make sure you get shallots and capers when you do the spoon right out of there into that pan.
On top of the potatoes?
Yeah, around on. We're gonna kind of toss it all anyway. So, all right. I don't know if you have some fresh parsley over there.
Outside.
Yeah, so grab some fresh parsley. As a big sports fan, I get to know you guys, so it like breaks it down a little bit. But like, I can't imagine what it's like to be, a professional athlete, especially in New York City.
I find it's very different from New York to Winnipeg because Winnipeg, like that was it. Like hockey was what there was there. But New York, there's just so much going on and so many other things that you can still go hide out in the city and no one knows who you are and you can live a pretty normal life, which is pretty awesome.
You should be very proud of yourself. It's not easy. I have so much respect for what you guys do. You're the best of the best.
Trust me, you're humbling me a little bit because I thought I was a better cook than I'm clearly am able.
Well, like I said, if you want to get me back, you can put me on the ice and see what happens.
We might have to do that.
All right, so now you're going to just rough chop a little bit of that parsley and throw it in the pan with the potatoes. And it should be like bubbling. If it's not bubbling, turn the heat up. If it is bubbling, you can kind of turn the heat off. And then after you add the parsley, take a little pinch of red pepper flake. All right, give a check on your broccoli, Rob.
That's burnt.
Probably not burned. Check it. Like flip it over. I bet you it's good. You want a little char on it.
Little char, a lot of char.
All right, it might look burned, but trust me, I bet you the other side is cooked perfectly.
It's definitely done.
All right, well, that's perfect timing. Take that chicken off of that plate that you had it on and just like put it up back on your board. Yeah, and now just with a spoon, and be careful, the handle on that pan is hot. You're going to take some of these potatoes and some of this. Keep in mind, it's not just the caper shallot butter. You got all the juices from cooking that chicken. And then you're going to see the capers and the shallots in there. You want to make sure that you get a nice spoonful of those. All right, and then the chicken's going to go right on top of those potatoes. The leg is going to basically rest right on top of it. All right, then you take a couple pieces of that broccoli, Rob, put right down the middle, just like a mohawk. And then you take some of these shallots, sprinkle right on top. Well, it's funny, man. You know, I haven't cooked one of these since the quarantine started. So, like,
really?
The smell is like, you know, it's almost making me a little sad, but it's also like making me happy to, like, you know, sometimes smelling can be like so nostalgic.
Yeah.
Like I can almost like see like.
It does remind me. The smell does remind me of your dish.
Yeah, I can almost like see you guys in the dining room and like hear the music and like, you know, it's like it almost feels like I'm living a normal life again.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I think there's only one thing left to do in the recipe, and that's give it taste. You know, as a chef, you always hope that it tastes just as good as it looks, if not better. You know, I always like to have a glass of wine. Whenever I'm tasting my own food, it's kind of like at the end of the night, we call it the shift drink. You know, so I think you've definitely earned your shift drink. I don't know if you have any wine over there.
So what's the best pairing? All right.
If you can get your hands on a Nebbiolo, that'd be great.
My dog's in love with the smell of the chicken.
Yeah.
Clearly, he gets food every time we cook.
All right. Let's do
We got a nice Barolo that we'll have. It's the closest I
Barolo,
can.
we're good, man. All right, I'm going in.
We just need to be in your restaurant now.
We'll get back there, man.
Yeah, it's good.
How'd you do?
Pretty good. There's definitely some parts I can improve, but the taste is good.
Well, listen, brother, like I said, I hope that like I showed you some techniques and stuff. You know, the next time you roast potatoes or the next time you, you know, want to add a little crispy shallot or the next time you want to make an infused oil or the next time you want to butcher a chicken, like I hope you can take these things with you. And, you know, that's the most important part.
Yeah, I appreciate the help. Thank you. I'll definitely try to use some of it as much as I can.
Well, listen, brother, cheers, man. You know,
Cheers.
to you, to your health, to your season, to your career. Can't wait to see you back in the restaurant, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you. We'll be back soon.